You just built your dream barndominium metal building, moved in, and suddenly your phone has 0 bars. You're standing in what's basically a giant metal cage that's blocking every single cell signal trying to reach you. Your 5-bar connection outside becomes a complete dead zone the moment you step through that door. I'm talking dropped calls, no data, complete radio silence. But here's the good news. I'm going to show you exactly why this happens and how to fix it for around $200. Stick around because the solution is simpler than you think, and I'll walk you through every detail. Before we dive in, if you're dealing with signal issues in your metal building or just want to understand how all this works, hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications. I break down real problems with honest solutions, no fluff. Now let's get into why your metal walls are acting like a cell phone prison. The metal wall problem. Let's start with a brutal truth. Metal is the absolute worst material for cell phone signals. I'm not talking slightly bad. I'm talking catastrophic. When cell towers send out radio frequency waves, those signals need to reach your phone. But metal does 2 things that destroy these signals. It reflects them like a mirror and absorbs them like a sponge. Here's what actually happens. Cell signals are measured in decibels, abbreviated as dB. Your signal strength ranges from -50 dB, which is excellent, to -120 dB, which is a complete dead zone. Metal buildings can drop your signal by 32 to 50 dB. That's enough to take you from full bars outside to absolutely nothing inside. Think about it this way. If you've got -70 dB outside, which is decent, your metal building drops that to -100 or -110 dB inside. At that point, your phone can't maintain a connection. Calls drop immediately, text messages won't send, and forget about streaming anything. This isn't just metal roofs either. Metal siding, metal studs, metal insulation, even aluminum foil, all of these block signals. Your entire building becomes what's called a Faraday cage. That's the same principle used to intentionally block all electromagnetic signals. Except you didn't want this. You just want an affordable, durable building. Why this matters more now. This problem is getting worse, not better, and here's why. The new 5G networks everyone's excited about, they're actually more vulnerable to metal interference than older 4G networks. 5G uses higher frequency radio waves to achieve faster speeds, but higher frequencies can't penetrate obstacles as well as lower frequencies. It's like the difference between bass and treble in music. Low bass frequencies travel through walls easily. High treble frequencies get blocked. 5G is operating at these higher frequencies, which means metal buildings block it even more effectively than they block 4G. So if you build a metal shop, warehouse, barndominium, or home, you're experiencing this right now. You walk outside and boom, full signal. Step back inside and your phone immediately shows searching for signal or no service. People literally have to walk outside in the rain, snow, or summer heat just to make a phone call. That's not just inconvenient. It's potentially dangerous in emergencies. And it's not just cell phones. Your mobile hotspot won't work. Your tablet has no connection. Any device that relies on cellular signal is dead in the water. If you're trying to run a business from your metal building, work from home, or just stay connected, you've got a serious problem. The Wi-Fi confusion. Now, let's clear up a common confusion. Your Wi-Fi router inside the building works fine, right? That's because Wi-Fi is generated inside your building. The router is already past the metal walls, so it broadcasts throughout your interior space without having to penetrate the metal exterior. But here's what people miss. Your Wi-Fi router needs internet, and if that internet comes through a cable or fiber line, you're fine. However, if you're using a cellular hotspot or mobile router for internet, you've got the same problem. The cellular signal can't reach your hotspot, so you have no internet to distribute via Wi-Fi. Also, if you're relying on Wi-Fi calling through your router, that works for calls, but only if you have internet coming through a wire connection. The moment your internet depends on cellular signal, you're back to square one. The bottom line is Wi-Fi and cellular signal are 2 different things. Metal blocks cellular signals from cell towers. It doesn't block Wi-Fi signals generated inside your building. Understanding this distinction is crucial for fixing your problem correctly. Other factors making it worse. Metal is the main culprit, but other factors pile on. If you're in a rural area, you're already far from cell towers. That means your outside signal might only be -90 or negative 100 dB to begin with. Add metal walls, dropping you another 40 dB, and you're well into dead zone territory. Terrain matters too. Hills, trees, and other buildings between you and the nearest tower weaken the signal before it even reaches your metal building. If your building sits in a valley surrounded by trees with the nearest tower 5 miles away, you're fighting multiple obstacles. Inside your building, other electronics can create interference. Heavy machinery, welding equipment, large motors. These can all generate electromagnetic interference that further disrupts weak signals trying to get through. Concrete foundations, brick interior walls, and thick insulation add more signal loss on top of the metal. You're essentially layering obstacle after obstacle between your phone and the cell tower. Each layer takes another bite out of your signal strength until there's nothing left. The $200 fix: cell signal boosters. Alright, here's the solution that actually works. You need a cell phone signal booster, also called a signal repeater or cellular amplifier. These devices are specifically designed to solve metal building signal problems, and they work incredibly well. Here's how they function. A signal booster has 3 main components. First, an outside antenna that you mount on your roof or exterior wall. This antenna captures whatever cell signal exists outside your building. Second, an amplifier unit that boosts that signal. Third, an inside antenna that broadcasts the amplified signal throughout your interior space. The outside antenna is crucial because it's positioned where the signal is strongest, outside your metal cage. It pulls in that negative 70 or negative 80 dB signal that exists out there. The amplifier then boosts that signal by 50 to 70 dB, depending on the system. Finally, the inside antenna rebroadcasts it so your phone can connect. The magic is in the amplification. Even if you've only got negative 100 dB outside, which is pretty weak, a good booster can amplify that to negative 50 or negative 60 dB inside. That's the difference between no service and full bars. For around $200, you can get a solid residential signal booster that covers 1,000 to 2,500 square feet. That's perfect for most metal shops, small barndominiums, or metal-sided homes. Brands like weBoost Home Studio, SureCall Flare, and HiBoost Home run in this price range. These are entry-level systems, but they work. If you need more coverage, say 5,000 square feet or multiple rooms, you're looking at $400 to $600 for mid-range systems like the weBoost Home Multi-Room or SureCall Fusion 4 Home. For large commercial metal buildings or warehouses, professional systems run $1,000 to $3,000, but most homeowners and small shop owners don't need that level. The $200 systems work for all carriers simultaneously. That means Verizon, AT&T, T-Mobile, everyone gets boosted. They're FCC approved, legal, and safe. They don't interfere with the cell network. They simply amplify what's already there. Installation is DIY friendly. Installing a signal booster is straightforward. You don't need an electrician or professional installer for basic systems. Here's the process. First, find the best signal outside your building. Walk around your property with your phone in field test mode, which shows your actual dB reading instead of bars. Find the spot with the strongest signal. That's where your outside antenna goes. Mount the outside antenna on your roof, on a pole, or on an exterior wall facing the cell tower. Most kits include mounting hardware. You want it as high as possible and pointed toward the nearest tower. There are free apps that show cell tower locations to help with aiming. Run the cable from the outside antenna to your amplifier unit inside. The cable usually goes through a window, door gap, or small drilled hole. Keep the cable run as short as possible because longer cables lose signal. Place the amplifier unit inside, somewhere central. Plug it into a standard electrical outlet. Then connect the inside antenna to the amplifier and position it where you need coverage. For small spaces, you might only need one inside antenna. For larger areas, you might add a second antenna using a splitter. The critical rule is separation. Your outside and inside antennas must be at least 20 to 50 feet apart vertically or horizontally. If they're too close, the system creates feedback called oscillation, and it shuts down to prevent interference. Real-world results. Let me give you real examples of what people experience. A guy in Oklahoma built a 40 by 60 metal shop. Outside signal was negative 95 dB, barely usable. Inside, negative 120 dB, complete dead zone. He installed a weBoost home multiroom for about $450. Inside signal jumped to negative 65 dB. He went from 0 bars and drop calls to full bars and crystal clear calls. Another example, a woman in Montana with a metal-roofed barndominium. She could only make calls standing at a window. Installed a SureCall flare for $280. Now she has coverage throughout her entire home. No more window gymnastics. These aren't outliers. This is the standard result when you install a quality booster correctly. The key is having at least some signal outside. If you have zero signal outside, like negative 120 dB, even the best booster can't help because there's nothing to amplify. But if you've got even weak signal outside, boosters work remarkably well. The improvement isn't just bars on your phone. You get faster data speeds, fewer drop calls, longer battery life because your phone isn't constantly searching for signal, and the peace of mind that you can actually use your phone inside your building. Alternative solutions. If a signal booster isn't an option, here are alternatives, though they're less effective. Wi-Fi calling uses your internet connection for calls instead of cellular signal. Most modern phones support this, but you need reliable wired internet. If you're using cellular internet, this doesn't help. Femicels are small cellular base stations some carriers offer. They create a mini cell tower in your building using your internet connection. However, they only work for one carrier. They require good internet, and they can be finicky. You could install an external antenna just for your phone or hotspot. These are cheaper, maybe $50 to $100, but they only boost one device at a time. If you have a family or multiple devices, everyone else still has no signal. Moving your router closer to windows helps Wi-Fi coverage near those openings, but doesn't solve the cellular signal problem. Some people get creative with exterior antennas and long cables, but signal boosters are cleaner and more effective. What doesn't work? Let's save you money by telling you what doesn't work. Those little sticker antennas you stick on your phone? Complete scam. They do nothing. Physics doesn't work that way. Apps that claim to boost your signal? Also useless. Software can't amplify radio waves. That's a hardware problem requiring a hardware solution. Aluminum foil tricks or DIY antenna contraptions you find online. Maybe they help marginally in very specific situations, but they're not reliable solutions. You're better off investing in a real booster. And here's a big one. Hoping the problem will fix itself or that carriers will improve coverage in your area. Carriers aren't going to build a tower just for you. Metal buildings have blocked signals since cell phones were invented. This is your problem to solve. So if you've got a metal building and you're struggling with cell signal, you're not alone, and it's not your fault. Metal is an incredible building material. It's strong, durable, affordable, and lasts forever. But it absolutely destroys cell phone signals. That's just physics. The good news is the fix is proven, affordable, and DIY friendly. For $200 to $600 depending on your building size, you can install a cell signal booster and completely solve the problem. You'll go from dead zones and drop calls to full bars and reliable service. Don't suffer through another year of walking outside for calls or hoping you're close enough to a window. Don't let your metal building turn into a communication prison. Fix it once, fix it right, and move on with your life. If you found this helpful, smash that like button, subscribe for more honest solutions to real problems, and drop a comment below telling me about your signal situation. Have you dealt with this in a metal building? What solution worked for you? Let's help each other out in the comments. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.